To me, as someone of my age, it's very exciting what's happened, because okay, so I think the Chilean model and the Peruvian model are extremely interesting and pretty surprising, because in the late 1980s, Peru was in really bad shape. And I could have told you the United States was in much better shape, in terms of our fiscal policy and so on. But now, I view it as experiments, cross-country experiments, because you have a very different social security system than we do. You have very different. So your government budget is balanced or close to balanced. My government's budget is way out of balance. Your social security system is sustainable. Mine's not. You have individual accounts playing a big role. We have no individual accounts. You have a very low debt GDP ratio. We have a big one, and it's growing. That's a great question. So I could answer that in several ways. So what sustainable means is, so people talked about that at the conference. So the question is Peru going to still be like Peru, or is someone going to kind of come along and nationalize the pensions, like Argentina did? And you would know more about that than I do. That depends on what people in Peru decide to do, and what future. It depends a lot about the politics. It ultimately depends on whether the citizens like the program. I mean, the question you asked is the essential question, and usually what's sustainable is what the political system maintains, and that's a question beyond economics. That's the government issue, but I think the government is ultimately what the people want. The people who make this, the voters, and the people who are influential in making decisions. That's what you have to predict. So I have a friend who's from Peru. His name is Saki Bisho. He's and we've been spending time. He's been trying to teach me. So we asked the following question: 3 countries. They're right next to each other: Chile, Argentina, and Peru, and they all did reforms in the 1980s or 1990s of their social security system, and their fiscal and monetary policies, and their central banks. And Peru has pretty much stuck to the reforms, and Argentina's undone them. And the question is why? And the question has to come down to the structure of the politics in the countries, and the way the governments are put together. Things like so in my country, okay, things like how federal is the system? Is it centralized, or are there states that are really powerful? How strong is the executive relative to the Congress? How easy is it to modify the Constitution? So these vary. People that are different democracies, these vary. So my understanding is Chile is a much more centralized country than the United States. We're more federal. But that's important.